Hi, how are you?
Hello,
Doing great.
good
How
to
about
see
you?
Again.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm back. Like it was, I rebooted my whole life and moved to Knoxville, and I'm doing pretty okay.
Is this your
Ah,
first time getting up on any sort of stream or recording since you moved?
Yeah, this is kind of fucked up for me.
Mm.
No, I mean it's not like in a bad way, but it's momentous. To answer your question, yes. Let me take a step back.
How did this all start off?
Remind me of the rules of your show. Can I say whatever? Or do you?
You
wanna
can
keep
say
it like
whatever you want.
shit, fuck, ass,
Absolutely
balls?
whatever you want.
Okay, cool.
Let's go.
Hi.
Hey,
Good to meet
good
you,
to see
Brian.
you again.
Yeah. One conversation about video games from 2005 later, and my entire life is different. Like different's not the right word. I'm a different. There's that word different again. It's gone. Like I'm a different human now. Like it comes with its own, advantages, but that was the most gnarly thing that will ever happen to me.
So what caused this transformation?
Been almost half a year. And so as we're recording this, it's Sunday, and I have a new album coming out in a week. That has not dropped as we're recording this. I'm assuming that's going to be a whole
Oh, yeah.
thing. For the listener, I had one of our intrepid hosts today on my show that I used to have before all my closest friends turned on me to ruin my life.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, don't apologize. Absolutely not your fault. But I appreciate where you're coming from. But like, let's lay that groundwork. No animosity or nothing. Like, we talked about City of Heroes on this
Right.
this show I used to do for a long time that was starting to really come into its own, called Space Couch. It opened up a lot of doors for me, which it was just this. I call it a TV show just for brevity, which was just me. I've been in music for since the Paleolithic era and so like I know everybody now in like goth industrial world, and so the premise of the show is that I just bring you into the green room and we just talked, and I got to meet so many heroes, and then it got out of music into like movies and comic books,
That
and
sounds like dope.
it was amazing. It was like every Sunday at 3, it was like, I guess I'm gonna interview like my high school hero today. Like it was awesome, and then I got to right. Well, and it didn't stop there, because then I got to meet people like Jess here. I went on her show and we had such a great time. I've got a show, quote unquote show. This is just me with a green screen on a couch. It was an exciting idea in 2019 for about 5 seconds, and then the pandemic hit, and that became like everything. Like, oh, okay, this whole idea I have of like just showing a Skype interview on the internet was novel for like a little bit. But if you are just watching the show, sorry, like so much crazy shit has gone down. Like, I'm going to be all over the road. So, like, bring me back down to earth if I start talking crazy
Not a problem.
Thanks, Nem. So, I part of being raised brutally Catholic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, is that it's a sin to like say anything halfway good about yourself for 2 seconds. So it's like so it's like
I was De Pere.
Oh, kick-ass. Where I'm going with that is I had, after eons, reached a certain level of success in music world with the Gothsicles, and which was like just really silly. It's called the Gothsicles. Like, I started it when I was
the name itself is pretty just a comical take.
Yeah, it was funny in undergrad, and then I just never stopped. And but we've gotten to play all over the world. Like, they're flying me to Europe and Mexico, and it was great. And then I started a record label, and that started going really, really great. And then I did Space Couch, and that was great. And that spun off into these other podcasts, and I had really kind of fallen into moguldom, which feels horrible to say, but I had so much going on, and then we did one episode of Space Couch that some people didn't like, and then some more people didn't like it, and this thing just took on a life of its own. And I watched my entire life crumble over a weekend. I was supposed to play England this year. That fell through. All these shows, not just that, like big shows across the U.S. and that's just material stuff. It was like just like childhood friend, like seventh grade, like what my head, and it's like I done some horrible crime. And
when all this went down, where were you currently located?
I was just about to say, you can tell a little bit of Boston seeped in. I'm not a Boston native, but like when I say horrible, and I was
there. It is.
One day I said it like naturally because I really wanted to be a Bostonian, and then I described something as horrible. And I said it. So like now I'm learning how to be a Southerner, but that's a whole other
twang
thing.
in there now.
It's yeah. I mean, I've only been here for like 6 days, so it's gonna take a bit. But I researched it. What's that?
It'll seep in. Trust me.
Okay. Cool.
You'll be having your y'alls and
y'all.
Gosh darns.
Yeah, I don't want to like fake it, but it'll seep in. It'll seep in naturally.
Okay, so bring it back for the new listener as far as the timeline.
When you and I were on Space Couch, which is my show
this past fall.
Yeah. We just talked about video games from 2005. That's where the 2005.
That's right.
We talked about City of Heroes. Okay. For the listener, it's not like we planned the Rwandan genocide or some shit. Like,
no.
We talked about. I had such a great time on your show. Like, I had such a great time. I was like, come on my show. That's a thing people do. I've seen other hosts do it. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Nobody does.
That was where you took it too far, sir.
That's where apparently
having too much fun.
It just went crazy.
In the weeks leading up to the Space Couch show too, it wasn't just like after this.
There was a little bit of heat because, don't let me put words in your mouth, but you and now I can say, because who gives a shit, are because I'm conservative. Oh my god. Right, and so like
Well, they presume
persona
I'm conservative based on my Twitter feed, right?
or
Well, I
whatever,
liked
like
a
whatever
post
the
that
word
somebody else
is you
posted.
want to use, right? Like
Not them.
but
Not falling in line with them.
not falling in line with them is probably better. Or let's say you were some insane. We just talked. Maybe like we don't agree on whatever it is. I can have conversations with people, but not according to the internet. I just got savage, just savage. Like
You were excommunicated from the cult of personality.
People like would message me, be like, "Did you do some shit?" Because like everyone's mad at you. Then I would describe what happened. Like that's it. I'm like, yeah, that's it, dude. We don't need to dwell on this, but like I was going through a divorce at the time, and like that plays a big part of it, and it just this so my life there was a time in my life when my nightmarish divorce was the worst thing, and then that got bumped down to like fourth or fifth place, right? Like
Oh no.
I'm dealing with this hyper cancellation on top of that divorce, and then it spilled over into my family, and then it just kept going, and it's like, what did I do? It became more than me, I think, in that
Absolutely.
like I kind of didn't matter. It was just I just became like the virtue signal sort of target.
Mhm.
And people are like, right, Nazi punks, fuck off on my Facebook. I'm like, I am disgusted to have shared a stage with you. Like my friends is like, what the fuck, guys? Are you serious? Seriously? And I lost my home over this thing, so I moved here to Knoxville, never having been to Knoxville before, specifically because I didn't know anybody. Um, that's turning out to be a nice silver lining to the whole thing, because I like it here so far. Like I said,
Good.
6 days in, so what do I
6 days
know?
in.
But there was a toy convention across the street the other day. So I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
hey.
score. Yeah, right. I've
Nice.
got some great stuff. It's all boxes or everywhere here. I got brought that up already, and it just kept going. Like I just like insanely threatening emails and stuff like that. I got banned from like every club. Like like I would go there. Not only physically banned, but like I would look at the whatever club night Facebook page, and it wasn't coming up, and then I would switch to like the Gospels page, and it wasn't coming up, and I would switch to Gasoline Invertebrate, the other, and then I had like other weird accounts that I forgot about, and then it would come up after switching to that. Like, oh, okay, wow, you guys really hate me, like,
And all of this
or
was
the
for platforming a bigot
yeah,
transphobe.
platforming a bigot. What?
Okay. Yeah.
What? And it was like everyone's like, fix your heart. Like, what the fuck? Like, I talked to somebody. Oh, it's just and then my ex-wife's out there making like memes like we're 12, and it's just it got so bad, and I lost that record label. Because I didn't want to be associated with my like being tainted, and 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 people didn't. I lived with a bunch of people, and they didn't want to live with me anymore, and like I'm a bigot now, and like what?
By
Um,
association. Sure. Of course.
right, and then I broke, and I tried to apologize, and that made it a million times worse. And it's just because it became like this hungry hippo feeding frenzy, and it was I still can't believe it. Like I'm not being especially articulate right now because I kind of expect any minute, like the candid camera people to be like, "Haha, just kidding. We punked you for half a year." Like it's just not real.
I can't believe that it got as far as it did for the select niche that you're in. Like, you would.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at people like Ronnie Radke, and who's way more heated and controversial than anyone, but they can't get rid of him, and he keeps succeeding.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
plenty of others that just managed to weather the freaking cancel swarm, and in fact end up with even more followers than before because they actually galvanize an actual fan group that knows the person, that understands who they are, and all these detractors that are just looking to get their pound of flesh from someone famous, proverbially bleeding a titan. And that, because that's
Yeah.
all they want. They want someone to suffer like they do.
And I think
I think
because of the niche genre that you're in and the fan bases, I mean, in comparison to other mainstream types of music and fan bases, you're attainable. Like they can cause you either harm, they can affect you, and they know it. So if they want to ruin you, I mean, if you were some huge mega superstar, mainstream or whatever, they couldn't touch you. But because you are close enough within reach in a lot of ways, you're just a normal person, they can
and I'm
affect
like
it, and they just
punchable,
dig in
right?
harder. You're what?
Uh-oh.
Did you
I
freeze?
think we lost him.
Oh
I'm
He
no!
froze up.
back.
Okay, there it is.
There you
Okay,
are.
there he is.
I'm being. Oh no, I came back to. I'm uncanceled. Because I think I got a real like punchable aspect. You know what I mean? Like I look like a guy that like the people want to like take down, and everyone's offering me advice unsolicited. I'm like, yo, can I just like deal with this? And like people are like demanding an explanation I've never met before. And like, like she's out there throwing like insanely personal details of my crumbling, very recent marriage online. Like, answer for this. I'm like, no, I don't even know your last name, fucking guy on the internet. Like, and it got so like exciting, I think, for people to take down. Like I saw a tweet like, "What happens when the nicest guy at Industrial turns into like a bigot?" Jesus Christ!
But
And
they
it's
can't
like
even say what you did. You did
that's the thing.
absolutely
Well,
nothing.
yes, and I think it turned into sort of this doom loop of needing to justify the behavior because I didn't do shit. So it's like we got to ramp it up and ramp it up and ramp it up to make it look like I'd lit an orphanage on fire or something.
They're
Yeah,
just afraid to actually
there's
being outed as the bad ones. They're the ones at fault for
Right.
doing something heinous that
oh,
actually
they're so
ruined someone's
tolerant though,
life.
Nem. They're so
What's
tolerant.
well, yeah, I don't have friends be like, "Yo, I know you didn't do anything, and I'm secretly on your side, but like I can't say anything right now."
We can be
See,
secret friends.
that's some bullshit right there. They shouldn't have any problem
I
sticking up for
like
you and
that
telling
they
these people to
did
go fuck
that.
themselves.
I get it. Like,
I mean, yeah,
it
you get
made
that
me
small bit of comfort, but they didn't actually like stand up and come to your
well
aid when you needed them.
to that end. There's some things going on that I cannot yet announce, but some people really did come through for me in a big
Okay,
way,
well,
and we'll be seeing that shortly.
Nice.
But
well, that's good that not everyone abandoned you.
yeah, there was some crazy like people who I don't even know if I've met that much, like music types messaging me going like, "Yeah, that sucks, man." I'm like, how do you know who I am? This is crazy. Like, it just and it really went wild, and people just demanding an explanation. I'm like, that's all there is. And now,
But they're using the words that just get to be thrown around without any like reasoning behind it. But if you say Nazi, bigot, if you just claim somebody is, you have an entire mob ready to go with their pitchforks. No reason needed. It's just those words are out there, so it must be true.
Well, it's like old Soviet. Like that's how you get ahead is by like crushing your potential somebody else, ratting out some guy, right, to the powers that be, and it just
Hell, not
became
just
this.
Soviet. The freaking even the Soviet scare here in the U.S. during that time when they would just out the neighbors because you get freaking brownie points with the federal government for finding a commie.
And then, oh well, yeah, certain artists in the world then put out like all proceeds this weekend go to support LGBTQ causes because of bigotry, and like, oh, it just got so disgusting. And then some people tried to help me publicly, and they got fucking wrecked up. And it was like just became this race to see who the most virtuous was, and it really made me nauseated and uh, brought a lot of clarity in a weird way. I'm like, wow, you guys are really, you find out who your friends are, and you guys are so hollow and gutless. And maybe that's a segue to talk about the album that's dropping.
I was about to say, it's like this kind of, leads into what I think is going to be a great comeback with freaking Crash and Burn and Burn and Burn.
Crash and Burn
Amazing.
and Burn. But thank you so much. As we are talking, it has yet to be released. So we'll see what that does. That'll be coming out March 15. And thank you very much for having me on your show. It's providing an interesting exercise in prediction, right? Because I think it's going to be incendiary to a degree. So we'll see what happens.
I hope so.
If I'm not physically killed, which, I'm not even sure of anymore from some of the emails that I got.
You're in Knoxville, so constitutional carry.
Well, Jess, I know you're no stranger to the firing range, so you'll have to teach me.
Not lately. I'm
Okay.
new. I'm new to it, but
all right.
I'm enjoying it, getting training done, and feeling.
I never went beyond
it.
the Nintendo light gun, so whatever. But
take a class. Take a class. Get just
maybe I will. I don't know.
Do it.
Let's
go to South Carolina. Go
seems like I should.
Take a class, record some samples, put it on the next album.
Be a person, but then there's going to be another single that's already done, coming out probably on the Bandcamp Friday after that, if I'm not, lit on fire. One of the burns in the Crash and Burn and Burn and Burn. That came about because it wasn't just a crashing and burning. It just kept going and going and going and going, and it was like, this is so wild. And but I am really excited about the new album. Jess, thank you so much in advance, or not in advance, for listening to it in advance. Produced by some really exciting names on there. Longtime standby Reza Udin of Black Collision and 1,000 Million Bands Inertia's his main one. Steven Seagull of Hate's Apartment, who I just love. And produced and mastered by Ted from Imperative Reaction, which is amazingly cool.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, he reached out to me and he's like, this is bullshit. Hi, how are you? We talked once 20 years ago.
Hi, friend.
Yeah, so like that was really cool.
Let's take a look at this cover art.
Yeah, that was that cover came about in a crazy way. I had I after I sort of was like looking at this whole Knoxville thing, I decided to fake responsibility, at least try to be somewhat like look at it, before I moved there. And it turned out I knew one guy. So he was telling me about this metal band he likes called Sabaton, and I'm not a metal guy. I'd never heard of them, but I was like, this is fucking gnarly. He was just playing for me in the car. And then that night in the hotel room at the Marriott here downtown, I was just looking through Upwork for somebody to do the cover of the new album, and I found this guy's work, and we were negotiating, and he turned out to be the cover artist for Sabaton. And I was like, okay, that's got to be some weird cosmic thing.
That's awesome.
That's a little crazy.
So
coincidence there.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. And then he just knocked it out the park with the cover of that, with the weird gasoline invertebrate mask that has sort of become the trademark of that project, which is kind of turning my main project, I think. Like the Gothicals requires this sort of substrate of happiness that's just like gone now. It's just,
well, we got to turn that ship around.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like I feel like I'm a different human now. Like it's all gone.
And you can't really force it if you're not feeling it. Otherwise you won't. You're just not going to produce anything good.
Totally right. Like some people were like, "How are you going to get back into people's good graces?" And I'm like, "I'm not. Fuck them. Well, who made them?
They crucified you for doing nothing."
And it's so
it was just straight up witch trial. Oh, she's a witch. She can do math.
And those same people expect you to come groveling. I mean, those same people expect you to come groveling. And then if you were to, like you did, attempt an apology,
then they're justified.
Then they're just going to kick you in the face. So it's good riddance to them. They're going to be on this for as long as until they find someone else to beat down.
But can I just go ahead and say, the song names on this album are hilariously crass, and I'm all for it. I fucking love them. You gutless fucks did me dirty.
Gotta call him like that's beautiful. Yeah, and that was done deliberately to be as opaque as I can be.
Right.
So Blacklist Impact. I mean, just
there's a lot of people that don't exist in the Twitter spaces and the Facebook groups and all that stuff that will just hear it and take what they will from it, right? It's just good. It's ambiguous enough. People can insert their own experiences and take from it what they will to apply it to themselves, like everyone does with music. It's brilliant to me though, because I'm part of the timeline, unfortunately. No, it's been great meeting you. But because I'm familiar with the timeline, the album and the order of the songs and everything, it tells the story, right? So the first song, "He Did Me Dirty," it has this like haunting kind of like a little somber but also spiteful, like but then by the time you get through the roller coaster of the tracks in between, you get to the end, "Leftism Is Bad." It's a total anthem, right? So it's like it's so good.
You know what? Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I just wanted to say, like, the entire arrangement for the whole album was fantastic. You had a great balance between the high energy builds to the freaking breakdowns and the smoother tracks. And then when you finish it off with Leftism Is Bad, I was not expecting you to go for like a big festival anthem kind of feel with it, and then bring in that signature style of vocal that you had established throughout the entire album. That was like a dichotomy I was not expecting, and I totally dug it.
I hadn't actually put together that it was chronological. Like I just sort of did that naturally, but it totally is. Now that you mention it, like a lot of this album was pieced together from. I used to do a lot of collabs back when people used to love me, and then the other person would almost inevitably never get back to me. So I had a lot of these half songs done, and I was gonna put the album out, and I was listening to Dan Bongino. He really gets me going, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. And like, "Left It Was Bad" was the last track I did for it, and yeah, it's in the style of previous Gas tracks, and Ted produced that one, and he knocked it out the park. I'm hoping I can work with him down the line. That's my favorite track on the album, I think.
Mine had to have been Penicillin.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, Hate Department producer Steven Siebold. I was really happy with the way that turned out. That was the theme of that is also, I think, pretty blatant in terms of just people wanting something to push against, and I sort of unfortunately became that thing. You know,
but just from an arrangement standpoint,
reason.
that's what hooked me on it.
Oh, thank you. I
from
really
all
like
the audio
Seeger.
textures, from the vocals to the pads to the rhythm. I mean, just the actual like beat just keeps you going. Then your vocals pushes you forward through it, and then that little melodic pad at the end of each verse just helps keeps that energy going as you travel throughout that entire track. I absolutely loved it.
Sam. Thank you.
And the ear candy throughout it all just keeps you interested.
I would also like the vocalist on the first track, "You Gutless Fucks Did Me Dirty." That was another happy accident. I was originally trying to get the other amazing vocalist that had done guest folks on a track, a gospel song called "Go Away Bird," on an album called Animal Songs. Because I found out there's this bird, and it's called the Go Away Bird. It's not it's not antisocial or anything. It's just called that because its cry sort of vaguely sounds like the human phrase "go away." So I thought that was so tragic because it's a very social bird, but it's called the. Anyway, broken the Godsicles talk. The guest vocalist I had on that, she was just amazing, and I was trying to get her. Anyway, she was great, and we just couldn't align it with the schedule, so I just randomly found this other person from Portugal, I think, who just annihilated. It was like, whoa, okay, roll the 20 on that one. So shout out to Linda V. It's it came together fairly quickly for me because it's like, what else am I gonna write about? Like, this is just I'm living like this full throttle.
Yeah, just said that
show every day.
You put this together in like 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, it's really fast for me. Some people, that's a long time, but for me, that's about as fast as it gets. My attention span is like turned into like nothing. I can't watch like movies or anything anymore. That's just all music. So I'm about halfway through the follow-up album right now.
Wow.
Pretty excited about that. I had to put a pause on it to, hit the Nintendo reset button on my life and move to a state I'd never been to before and pay zillions of dollars, but that's okay.
I get it. I work seasonal, so I up and have to pack up my whole life, travel halfway across the country to go make my WAD for the year. So
okay. Well, I got to keep my job. I was a little bit worried about that. So that was cool because of this shit, not because of moving. Like I was fairly. It would not have been a stretch that I'd lose my employment over this. Given
That's
everything that
insane.
happened, yeah, it
Absolutely insane.
got really wild. They're great. They're really, really great. So no complaints there. But just like people who I'd like really gone through it with, like in my life, and just like support, like I'd built this whole existence and just not private messages, real public, like I just have to make a statement that like, oh come on, you grandstanding.
Yeah, they up and they make sure to grandstand stabbing you in the back to as many people as possible.
Don't come after me.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I'll
That
play
was
by your
this
rules.
Scarlet
Just don't hurt
fucking
me.
letter, or not Scarlet Letter. That's for adultery. Lamb's
Open
blood.
letter?
That's where I was going.
Yep.
Just these lamb's blood, like I'm a good one, don't crush me,
Right.
things which
I'll say all the
be
things you want me to say.
right.
I believe. because wrong think is bad. So
well, people were coming after me, like, and I said, "How is this not wrong think?" And one guy was like, "Well, maybe it is, but what?" Stop. When about the maybe, like, you're just acknowledging that, like, this is, like, you can't talk to anybody, and because it was people got so excited for a villain, like, oh, this feels so good. They get to take somebody down, and it really it opened my eyes. Unfortunately, it really, I mean, it changed my whole life forever. This half-hour conversation we had about City of Fucking Heroes, like, it's
yeah,
it
it's your most watched Space Couch episode
so
ever,
crazy.
whether it's for haters or
I'm
people
expecting a
curious to
song
see.
called Society of Villains, something like that.
That's a very good idea.
Yes.
You will notice that I have green screened myself. Space Couch is coming back. I am
Woo!
not. I'm not. We'll see if anybody wants to be on it. Maybe it's just going to be me doing Thundercats Choose Your Own Adventures. But a lot of people said, like, maybe you can come back, but, like, Space Couch is dead for forever, and, like, I don't care anymore. Like, what are you gonna do?
The only
Is that
person
a
that can kill
challenge?
Space Couch is yourself, because it's your show.
That's totally, man. Like, and I'm finding that out. I mean, it got like I'm someone else now. Like, that whole I didn't change my name because, like, there's sort of like a weird melodrama around that. But I wouldn't be, at least in my own mind, unjustified in doing so. Like, I'm a different person, and just, like, I'm like, the divorce was so bad, um and then to have that spill out over into everything, and just hated, was like, I died, and I'm back. And I suppose the advantage of that is, like, what are you gonna do? Ruin my life? Like, it's already been done. Like,
So on that note, though, as far as like all of the, honestly, the just lies that have been spread about you that have harmed your career, is there any sort of like, have you entertained the idea of any sort of legal
no, because
efforts?
it's like, it's just kind of got a bad taste to it. Like,
Yeah,
what do I win Facebook? Like, it just wouldn't make
no,
any sense. And, like,
And
people were
so
telling me,
tough,
what?
especially in like the UK courts and everything, to prove, that you were actually damaged by them
Yeah, I mean,
for canceling the shows and stuff.
it's just kind of gross. Like, you said mean things about me on the internet. Like, I just don't want to go there. And
just wash your hands, start over, move
yeah,
on.
that's just, well, walk away from the burning fire. That is, that back to the crash and burn thing. Um, and it's never going to stop burning. So, hence the several ands in the title of the album.
I wanted to ask, how do you go about turning your inspiration into actual songs? Like, what's the creative
Oh,
process looks
thanks,
like when you're
man.
starting something like that?
Right now, I'm really bad at sleeping. Um, it has nothing to do with my pounds and pounds of coffee. It's totally on me. Like, so I'll try to go to sleep, and then, the fucking horror movie starts, and then I write a bunch of shit down really fast, and then I wake up and see if I still hate it, and then, so, like, then I got lyrics, and so then I have lyrics for, like, days and days and days. And a lot of methodology I learned from that Space Couch, of sort of keeping, like, Lego pieces around. And so I've got, like, a little bit of a beat here, like a little bit of a riff here, and wait a minute, if I combine this and da, 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 penicillin, and then, so it's like, you sort of build a bucket of Legos and put them together.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
I like my mind kind of doesn't stop. Like it's a little. That sounds like like I'm bragging, and I don't know. Maybe I am or I'm not, but that's just the reality of the situation. So it's just this sort of nonstop, like mental diarrhea. I've got a Google Drive full of albums, at least lyrically. So like I'm already set to go. It's like it's therapeutic, definitely. Um, you know, if I'm sitting there and I'm really going through it and I can channel that into a song, then now I've become something useful. And
Does like the song like already have like kind of a structure in your mind when you go into it, or does it actually take
yeah, I
form
think,
after you start working on it?
I think so. I'm trying to break that of me because um, it's easy to fall into a vocal pattern of ba 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 ba, and so I'm trying to divorce, pardon the pun, divorce myself from writing lyrics with rhythm in mind. But it's like how you're gonna not, there's
Yeah.
that iambic pentameter or whatever is always gonna sneak in. Um, and yeah, I've got a couple new machines I'm trying to learn. They freak me out a little bit because they're really complicated.
That's how I
But
feel about Serum right now.
you're doing Serum, okay?
I'm doing AU5's master course, and the guy is a ridiculous genius when it comes to sound design, the whole damn thing.
Okay,
So I'm
I may
learning
have to
really
get your
in-depth
opinions
stuff
on
on it.
that because uh, everyone loves Serum, and I know it's probably great. I just haven't taken that one in yet. Um, and maybe I'll get there. But I'm still using the Access Virus TI I bought with my tax return in 2006. Uh,
Awesome.
so at the cool synth store in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, uh, that that has not steered me wrong. Um, Trying to learn these other pieces of gear, and we'll see where that goes. You don't want to fall into the. I had a chance to work with some modular synthesizers on this one, which was a treat. I don't. It's tough because for the listener, modular synthesizers cost gwillions of dollars, and they kind of sound okay. Like it's
Oh,
the cost to benefit ratio there for me is so out of whack, but they're free when you borrow your friends. And
Hey.
so the track, let's see if I can do the whole name by memory. Like, I'm not a neo-Nazi or alt-right or whatever, you fucking assholes.
Just swap the alt-right and neo-Nazi, and then you got it correct.
Thanks, Nem. That was me purposely trying to break out of sort of my mold, like because I'm sort of just a caffeinated maniac. And
When I saw that song title and then I listened to it, I was expecting something completely different.
mission accomplished then, because I was like, we're going to purposely slow this down to 80 BPM, no vocals.
It was an awesome song. I was like, okay, not what I was expecting the tone of it going to be, but I dig it. It is a nice break.
And it's just that Memento sample of "I Want My Fucking Life Back" is hitting the nail on the head.
Yep.
At least there's no life there again. I already lost the fucking perfect person. What am I gonna do now? Uh, it's tough, and he's just like the whole. It's it like it the whip pan of it is still. I know I'm not being the most articulate right now because it's difficult to vocalize, just
mm,
crystallize down into human speech how insane it got. And this sounds so victim-y, but it's like, this is the reality as I experienced it. Take from that what you will. But on to the future. Very excited about Crash and Burn coming out on Ligerhawk, the new label. We'll see where that goes. Coming from Tiger Squawk, which was the label I had before. I didn't do this on purpose, but well, that I did on purpose as an allusion to Tiger Squawk, calling it Ligerhawk.
Mhm.
But just
Ligerhawk.
because it's sort of, we talked about it a bit on the episode, Jess. I wore a white shirt with a deer on it, and I kind of got caught like a deer in headlights on it. So now I'm full Liger. Rawr, hear me roar.
Liger.
Those things get massive.
Do they? I don't know. I just, because it rhymed with tiger. But
well, if you actually look at pictures of them, Ligers actually get massively huge.
Sick,
but
sick.
However, they also, because they are hybrids,
let's hope that's
actually...
proverbial. We'll see where this Ligerhawk thing goes. Tiger Squawk was, it was, you know, I was so much joy coming from that label. Like, you know, like, and people were basing their lives around it. Like, almost like, this guy in Kansas is now working on a collab with someone in Australia. Like, it was, magic was happening. Like, this really close-knit community, and it just melted, man. And because I just turned so radioactive so fast, and you know,
you're not the first person that it's happened to, and you know, you find your actual fans that like you, and they're not trying to use you as a pawn to like get what they want out of you, and your people will find you, and it may not happen overnight or 6 days or whatever, but just getting exposure into other people that aren't the mob, always after, you know, an agenda or conformity, and it's just,
and there are those people. Like, it got fucking dark, and if there's, you know, some people saved my life, and they know who they are, and I thank them for that. And so, you know, I am really lucky to have those people, and you know, hopefully I'll find some more. It took me so long to move to Knoxville, because like the fucking place that I found is awesome. Like, when I was here in December, like, I asked the guy at the grocery store, like, okay, where's the cool punk rock part of Knoxville? And it goes, here. I'm like, good enough for me. And
sold.
Yeah, and like, I planned my whole life, you know, I played like Fantasy Life on Google Maps, like, oh, that's going to be my grocery store. And that's going to be where, you know, I was like next to the cool indie theater that has a horror night and a kung fu club. And then there was the rare record and toy store across the street. Like, oh, it's going to be fucking baller. And
you fucking literally found Fantasyland in real life.
Almost, dude. Check it out, because they just kept pushing the date back and kept pushing the date back. And it was like, Boston wants to kill me. Like, I need to get out of here. So then, just with like shit. And then they got in trouble with the government. Fucking the government. Like, they, like,
we're not fans here.
Check it out. At the last, right? We finally get almost. There's an electrical box that sticks out 6 inches onto the sidewalk that now causes some. I forget the word they use. Like, it's some sort of violation. It's an exposure or something like that with the city, and they're like, "We'll get it solved soon." I'm like, "No, you're fucking not." If like you're going back and forth with the city government about. So then this whole, I was like, I loved you, but I'm just gonna go with this other option, and I went with this other option, and it turned out to be great, because there's this con across the street like the next day that I didn't even plan, and I spent. I was a very good boy. because they it costs a lot of money because now I have to buy like shower curtain rings and shit. Like I'm just rebooting like stuff you don't think about.
It's like an
I'm,
alcoholic showing up to like a winery, just being like, "Oh,
yeah,
shit."
totally right. Like I had one of my great joys in life heretofore was this Boston Toy Club, and it I would show up there and like I'm not young, like I'm 43, and I was a spring chicken with these guys like talking about like Matchbox cars, and he's not here around anymore. But there was a guy like I'm telling my sob story to this guy I met because we both like toys, right? Like this crazy thing, and he is an older man, and he is going through a divorce, and we're talking, and I'm boo hoo my sob story, and then he starts talking, and I'm picking up these context clues. I'm like, wait, are you getting chemotherapy right now? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, holy shit, you are a warrior. So shout out to Bruce. I'm sorry he's not with us anymore. But
Oh.
that went to a crazy place. But like I met all these people through this toy club just because I like Thundercats, right? And
Nothing wrong with that. I love Transformers.
fuck yeah, I just got some, dude. But they had a G1 Megatron, and I was like, I want this, but I'm gonna like, like I need to just stuff you don't think about. Like I need to get like ice cube trays and like because I rebooted my whole life.
Yep.
But the point is that I lucked out with this apartment. A long walk. Thank you. Please edit that shit so it makes some sense. But
You got it.
thank you. It's beautiful. This area. We'll see where it goes. There was an anime con nominally, which isn't like really my thing, but like some cool people were there, like Phil Lamar, like this voice acting legend. Yeah, I learned that Green Lantern is the same voice as Samurai Jack. Dope. I didn't know that. And
yeah, Phil Lamar's done so much stuff in the entire community.
His IMDb has got like chapters. It's so crazy. And
all the way from Saturday Night Live to freaking
Mad TV.
Yep.
I don't know. I have like he's in my pantheon of like favorites, so it was cool to just like see him, and who anyway. The point is that I kind of lucked out there, and we'll see if I ever play live again. I will. I want to. Like, I'm worried a little bit that like I'm gonna go into like a deli and get recognized, and then they're gonna have like sandwiches against hate, the next day.
Oh, jeez.
Like, not that I'm that famous, but it happens every now and then, and especially vis-a-vis music. I'm gonna go. I'll go out. We'll see. I don't know. I'm just gonna take it as it comes, and the power gloves are off, both literally and metaphorically. Power glove. I wore this power glove because the Gothsicles started as this Nintendo band back before that had been totally worn out as an idea. Like and so I feel clean. Does that make sense? Like I'm just so honest with myself. Like I don't have to live like a spy anymore. And
yeah, it's a huge freaking relief.
Yeah, just to worry, not have to.
It's a really shitty way to get there, but it's got to feel so good to just not have to pretend and lie to yourself, and fake it with these people that really, obviously, really don't give two shits about you in the long run.
Just hate.
So let it go. Let it go.
Yeah, right. It's like
Shed that
that's
toxicity.
all it took for you to just got so there's a line in it in the first track that I think sort of sums it up. If I can be, I'm going to go into douchebaggery a little bit and quote myself, but it's relevant to the situation. Where
Go for it. Let that ego rip.
Ha! Well, interesting choice of words, but it's not interested to hear the facts of the matter, too excited for a target for the snipers to splatter. It became like, oh, we can take this guy out, and it's worth 20 XP. Like you'll see that line. Like I turned into XP points, like potential XP for my gamer homies out there. And it was like, I'm glad you got your XP, but like my whole life is ruined. Like I'm not exaggerating. It was like ruined. Like, and that's okay because I can start over with this new thing, and I'm there's a hope there, you know. At least sometimes. Sometimes they don't feel that there is. It's a very complicated process, and I wish I could say that I'm this, you know, rock ribbed, you know, Rambo type guy, but like, you go through cycles, and
Yeah.
now I'm feeling great because I'm talking to you guys here on the I fucked up. What's the name of the channel again?
Moxie Dame.
Just
Moxie Dame channel. Here
And I don't know. I might be feeling a little bit of a love connection with the two of you and your music and the nerddom stuff. Just saying.
Awesome. Well, you know, my Tinder ain't exactly blowing up, so you know.
I deleted mine long ago. I've just living the celibate life, you know, monk it.
Yeah. Yeah, don't I know it? But what are you gonna do?
Well, my dating history is basically a what's the best way to put this? A case study in sticking your dick in crazy.
Well, and your exes, you had ones that actually tried to, you know, delete
Yeah.
you. So there you go.
Well, now you got some great song fodder, man. Like
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Life is freaking getting in the way, and I'm gonna be hopefully the plan is come back, at least have, you know, 2 to 3 songs. That
in what kind of style are you doing?
Dubstep, future bass, somewhere in there.
Cool. Free Gasoline Invertebrate remix.
I was gonna kind of ask you on that because there are a couple that I'm like, that would be really cool to flip.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the least I can do at this point. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Let's be a little bit professional. Crash and Burn comes out March 15. I'm just dropping it. I'm just gonna this is as much of a marketing push as I put together. It's like I should just do Jess's show. Like what else? What other show would I do? Right?
So that people can find you on all of the things.
All
Spotify.
the things. It will be free, and then I'm gonna do that other single, and then not only is Space Couch coming back, but I will be doing the plan right now is to do locals. Fuck Patreon. That'll all come back. It's all coming back. Whether or not anybody cares, we will see. But it's like that's what I'm doing, you know.
And you know what? If you would be open to it, I know a few other YouTube channels in the nerdosphere that get together to talk about current events, comics, toys, movies, and all the things.
Awesome.
It'd be great to kind of like cross-pollinate. And once again, I know I use that word a lot, but I
We're
think
all a bunch of flowers here.
The goth industrial music scene and the fans that have been fans for the last 20, 30, 40 years, it's to me, it doesn't seem like it's an easy thing to get new fans into the genre, like get new people exposed to it. Because I was exposed to my gateway drug was V&V Nation back like in 2005, and it can just kind of spiral from there, going to the clubs and getting introduced to other bands and stuff. But so like in the current age of things, and maybe it's because I'm an old now, it's like, where do people just stumble into goth industrial music? Just randos on the street,
Well, yeah,
But
I mean, now it's the opposite problem. I think.
right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
Nah, I thought I interrupted you. Keep going.
Oh no, it's gone. It's out the window. I know nothing. You did not. I had nothing there. No, but I think it's a cool little mixed bag of all the things that all of the people that Nem and I talk to all the time. Just be a really cool way to kind of like expose new people, because they do like the hardcore. They like that dubstep and EDM.
And so many of them will dig the story of everything that you've gone through.
Oh yeah.
And how you've come out on the other side.
The hero's journey.
Angel Spit saved me, if you know the band Angel Spit, and he caught some flack for putting out a thing going like, Brian's here. Like, I flew out to LA, like I lost my mind, and he was like, I don't, I love you, and I don't want this to be like an adults are fighting thing. Like, if somebody is being like, I just discovered whoever V&D, I'm gonna go, but like then I'm gonna dip my big toe in a little bit further and see everybody's fighting about some bullshit. Fuck goth industrial. I'm gonna go do something else. Like that prospect made us both really sad. So he tried to put out a video to that effect. Just, I didn't think there could be anything wrong with that. That sounded like so positive to me, and people fucking just like so mad at him for that. Animals.
They're looking for things to be mad at. That whole side of whatever, that culture that's been built up within certain communities, the niche communities.
I mean, it's prevalent in the EDM culture. With it's
crazy.
supposed to be all peace, love, unity, respect, plur down your fucking throat, and none of them can actually follow any of those four things. They want to divide, they want to hate, they want to attack. They don't give a shit how much they hurt you or what they take away from you, just so they can feel a little bit better about their mediocre lives that they've managed to screw up and are afraid to take accountability for.
It kind of feels that way. Like, the bands that reached out to me are all really good, and everybody that just trend wise, like everybody that sucks hates me. And then like the really good bands are the ones that like reach out.
Telling.
So I was like, that's interesting. But
yeah, like you said, this has shown exactly, where your friends stand, and which ones you need to surround yourself with.
Quality of character.
Yeah.
You got this, Brian.
I'm so happy to see you actually have come out with something.
Well, thank you. Like, I mean, it's like, I'll steal this. I'm paraphrasing Adam Carolla, who I like a lot, but he's got a thing about if you put a bunch of beavers on top of the Empire State Building, they'll still try to build a dam. Just because that's what beavers do, like that's what beavers that's all I got. This is what I'm gonna do. Is just do industrial music, and we'll try to bring back Space Couch, and if I gotta go it alone, then I'm gonna go it alone, because I think that's kind of my nature. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want it to be, but we'll see. How are you, Jess, though? Like, are you okay?
I'm doing okay. I mean, what do you mean? As far as like all this nonsense?
Yeah.
Oh no. A few people that I know in my spheres commented on some people that did make some attempts online, and then they just disappeared. because they can't hang. So
my favorite comment, I think, on the whole thing, I'm also paraphrasing because I'm doing this from memory, is on YouTube. Somebody's like, "What's the problem? All I see are two moderately attractive people." Yes, I'll take it. I'll take moderately attractive.
Moderately attractive people talking about nerd stuff or something.
Yeah.
Aw, thanks. I needed the compliment.
Yeah, I'll take a 6.5. I'll take it
any day. No, they've left me alone, surprisingly, and it's just wild that they've gone after you so hard. When I'm so bad, you would think the army would come for me, but nah, it fizzled out pretty quick because I didn't act like I cared because I didn't care.
That's how much you actually mattered. That they were just looking for an excuse. They could have come after you because you were the cause of it. You were the prime evidence of Brian's malfeasance, but yet nothing actually went your way. Instead, they all focused their ire on him.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all just manufactured and imagined.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty sage, I think, right? Because it's like they fell on the soft target, me, because it really fucked me up. I didn't have your resolve. I think I'm getting there now, but like,
you're battle hardened.
I'm getting there. And they know you're a caring person. Like, you've been known to people, your fans and mutuals, as being a caring, nice guy.
Go on, sorry. What was that?
No, I'm just saying, like, everyone knew you to be caring. They described you as that. And so even in the hateful comments, they're like, he used to be so caring. They had this idea of you. He is. I know he is. Yeah. But they had this idea of you. So it made you an easy target because they knew they could reach you and get you to apologize and know it wasn't enough. So I think as you're going along, you have less fucks to give, and it's all for the better. And just, the right people will find you. You'll attract the right people, and the good ones will stick by you. So you just filtered out some of the riffraff. Well, they filtered themselves out, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way you got to look at it, right? And I'm interested to see how this album does. I kind of think it's my best. Like,
it's great. I love it.
Thank you. It's like, I know you think everything once recently done is this is the best thing I've ever done. I didn't think I could top 2020's Animal songs, but I'm happy. I'm rather happy with the way this turned out. I'm really excited about the Gasoline Invertebrate side project, kind of turning main project. Like, the Gothsicle thing doesn't feel like it's so much more popular than Gasoline, but it's not where my heart is right now. I think we kind of talked about this when I was on your show 6 months ago or 5 months ago, whenever that was. But pretty pumped about it. Got some things coming up real soon that I'm interested to see how those go down. I'm sorry to be cryptic, but I can't say more than that.
No mystery.
And I'm losing the natural light out here, and I'm working on this lighting situation for my thing here. So I'm casting some shadows right now. Speaking of casting shadows, I'm really liking this reset. And what other choice do I have? But we're just gonna keep moving.
Yep. Hell yeah.
You better.
All you can do.
Yeah. GasolineInvertebrate.bandcamp.com is where you will get Crash and Burn and Burn and Burn. Check that out. Pay what you want, and we'll see what happens from there.
Definitely worth the listen. It was.
Thank you.
I haven't touched industrial in over a decade. This was fucking awesome.
Thank you.
did a little bit of vocal experimentation. I know it's pretty kind of carrying the torch of a lot of distortive vocals industrial bands, but we ebbed it off for a few tracks, and then, or at least on Leftism is Bad, and then we're sort of carrying that out into the single that'll be coming up that I've alluded to a couple of times. I think that might drop in the next Bandcamp Friday, but we'll see. I haven't thought that far ahead. Right now, I just got to worry about, like, where are things gonna go in my new apartment and stuff like that, right?
Gonna feng shui the place,
right? And like finding which box I put the one fucking thing in that I need, and I'm tearing stuff apart right now, and then putting the whole desk together and being like, oh no, I forgot I need this drawer here. It's all good. It's all good. It's gonna be good. I have a lot of hope, I think, now. And maybe I'm just, like I said, maybe I'm just in a happy place because I'm talking to you guys. But I talked to a friend, and he said, "Don't put this album out," and that really bummed me out because it's like, I still got a sensitive streak in me. But I'm glad I had that conversation because I think it sort of steeled me for Friday, because this is dropping on Friday as we're talking. So
right?
There's a clock going down.
I'm gonna say any blowback that you do get from this, you've weathered far worse, and this is your proverbial middle finger to anyone that wants to continue to try to pull something against you.
That's very astute. It's kind of designed to be a big
yeah. So it's like you don't need to say anything else to the people that are just gonna come attack you, because they're the same people that caused you all this shit before, and this is your response to them. You are back, and you're gonna go hard into your own shit and live your best life.
Yeah, that's the plan, man. That's the plan.
Yeah, you've already been through the worst of it. You're on the other side.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Like, threats of physical violence aside, I don't really think that's gonna happen, but you never know. Like, what's the worst that can happen? To echo what you're saying. So, losing those gigs was hard. Losing my life was hard. Losing my wife was the worst. But I'm in a different place now, and I feel good about that.
I have hopes for you. High hopes.
Thank you.
And if you ever want to do any kind of like because we talked about maybe not a recurring thing, but just
we talked
depressing 80s movies or the movies that ruined us as children.
Yeah, we got going on scenes.
We'll always be friends forever.
Oh god.
Oh, brutal, right? Like the shoe getting killed in the Act 1 of Who Framed Roger Rabbit should come with a warning label.
Oh my god. Yes.
For all the going back and putting whatever warning labels depict on the depictions of the Indians in Peter Pan, 1,000 times more on
that screaming shoe outbeats them all.
Shoe awful. in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Trauma.
To say nothing of our text. But
Traumedy is, I think, it's oh gosh. But yeah. No, this is great. Thanks for coming on. Like, you were thanking me, and it's like, dude, honor is all mine, and I'm happy Nem could be here too. Ask intelligent questions about music and stuff.
Well, I'm just a beginner trying to learn from someone who's already made it.
Well, let me know if you find somebody who has. It's gonna be good. I think I'm pretty. I will confess, I put it on in like the gym to like pump myself up. Like, it's just so douchey. Like just like, so like maybe
it's great driving music.
You make awesome work. You might as well enjoy it. I mean, Make
Thank
music
you.
for yourself first.
Which everybody does, by the way. Don't tell me you don't listen to your own album in the gym, assholes.
I remember listening to Sum 41's behind the scenes, Cross Your T's and Gouge Out Your Eyes, and all they would do when they're on the tour bus is just listen to their own music. It's like, yeah, we make the best shit. It's like, all right, that's a little douchey, but they amp themselves up. How better can you get for a show?
That's right.
You won't forget the lyrics unless you do.
That's true.
Not that I've ever done that ever.
Never ever.
Ever? What are you talking about?
Oh man.
We'll see what happens. Let me know if you want to do this again.
All right, we'll see you in space.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna go oppress a bunch of people or some shit.
So go for it. Me too.
Yeah. Awesome.
I gotta go to my Nazi meeting, And then
okay. Oh, today was
KKK
Nazi Day.
Yeah, you forgot.
I'm gonna go do race wars
I did
with my
Klan
friends.
instead. I forgot. I'm sorry. What's that now?
We're gonna do race wars with my friends.
Okay.
We're gonna like continue the time-honored tradition of genociding geese as ducks.
That's your out right there.